Ever since the interest rates have been going up, it's been definitely tough. The market's different. You see a lot of realtors getting out of the game because it's discouraging, keeping that energy, that momentum, trying to find leads and deals. It's been tough while having a family. I'm trying to keep that momentum. I don't want to leave this industry. I want to continue pushing. So I'm definitely looking for some direction just to keep going.
So one of the biggest things that really sticks out, and I hear this with realtors all the time, is fast money, especially during the 2020 boom, where everyone was getting licensed. And I think the biggest thing for you to realize, and this is something I realized early on when I started many years ago. I'm an old man now, but still a young man. This is a long game. Before you can bear fruit, essentially, you have to plant the seeds. And seeds go in the ground. You can't see them until you start to water them and shed light. So that's one of the biggest things for us is, do we have, number one, the patience? Number two, the faith to know that you believe in yourself and that you're going to pace yourself and you're going to invest in yourself and in the market, and then trusting that it's going to reap the benefits. It can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months. Some people start getting deals right away because of the network that they're in, but it doesn't always happen like that. But I truly believe that anyone who's licensed can be successful in real estate. I really do. So Alex, tell me a little bit about how many sales have you had in 2023?
So I have 2 deals, one in Arlington and the other in Dallas.
Okay. Where do you live?
I'm currently in the Colony area.
Colony, that's Denton County, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Were they listings or were you the buyer's agent?
I was the buyer's agent.
2 houses that you helped someone buy, right? In 2 completely different areas. Because you probably, 45 minutes just to drive in that area? So that can become exhausting. So we're going to go over some key points here. The first big point for you is to dial in and focus. You need to be able to focus in a particular area. You're exhausting yourself by reaching outside. A lot of times we want to be able to cast a wide net, but when you're first getting started, the biggest thing is that you need a niche in this market, right? A lot of times what happens is we're looking at where we want to be. So that's where we start. We start saying, I want to be able to sell properties all over DFW. That's not a terrible goal, but where you are right now, you want to be a powerhouse where you are, right? Somewhere where you can jump in your car or even walk over to do a showing. Here's a couple of practical tips that I want you to think about and consider as you're going through this process. And this is going to be extremely encouraging for you. Number one, become a value add in your neighborhood, okay? And I know that's very macro level, so let's get down to the micro level, okay? Do you do any social media right now? Social media content?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So I don't know how much posts you have. I'm assuming there's not too much traction. Here's what I want you to do and really think about is become a value add by interviewing restaurant owners, business owners within your area, right? Become a voice for that particular area. You don't always have to lead that you're a realtor. You can just say, hey, I go around interviewing neighborhoods and talking about their company and their business because they want the word to get out for them as well. So become a value add for them first and say, hey, let me do this for you. Let me interview you. So now when people are looking for local restaurants, they're finding that restaurant and they're finding you as a realtor. So you're talking about enhancing your neighborhood and bringing value to your neighborhood. And the other thing you can do locally on the local level that not many people think about, do you go for walks or runs or anything?
Every day, 2 or 3 times.
So print out a stack of flyers, and as you're going, get your calories in, get your cardio in, and go door to door. Get the flyers where they can scan, right? Get the barcode, put those flyers in every single door, have a photo of yourself, always show who you are, right? And now they can scan it. You can have them go hop over to your Instagram. Don't even feel like you have to market real estate. Just say, hey, you want to hear all about your new restaurants in the neighborhood? This is my favorite burger spot. Boom. It's a jab, jab, hook. There's an amazing book. I forgot the name of the author, but jab, jab, right hook. A lot of times we don't have to lead with our right hook. It's similar to boxing. So for you, how do you begin to create jabs in the marketplace? So those are some of the bigger things that I think you need to really be thinking about. Local schools, they're doing an event at a local school. The teachers need support. I'm here. I'm just bringing water bottles. Put your little barcode on the water bottles, right? Get out into the neighborhood. And that's also going to help you become the expert of your neighborhood. You'll remember addresses right off the top of your head. And at some point, you'll start to accumulate clients pretty quickly because you've mastered that big one, which is dial in and focus on a particular region or area. Does that make sense? What are your thoughts when you hear that?
I love that idea because when we think about in this age, it's, like traditional marketing versus digital marketing. I definitely lean more towards like digital marketing. So I feel like that relational aspect gets lost. And I do like the idea of interviewing business owners and actually becoming a value add, because even, I attempted Facebook, just advertising myself on Facebook, and a lot of these communities don't like it when you are soliciting, start putting yourself out there. They're like, hey, we don't want any of that. So sort of coming from a different approach, that's definitely a good idea. We think about, okay, I'm just going to go in as a realtor and try to make as many touch points as I can.
Exactly. Listen, there are other techniques. Another big technique that I love is go to the local HOAs and say, hey, I want to sponsor the emails that you guys send out to the homeowners. Drop off lunch, drop off water bottles, bless these people in these local areas, and you'll just start accumulating. You become the expert, you become the voice of the neighborhood, even local news, right? You become a value add. When they're looking at the colony, let's just start with the city of the colony. It's going to be a massive ad. So number one, dial in and focus on a particular region. I would start with the colony. You guys are doing a lot out there. You got Top Golf. You should be the man at Top Golf. Throw a sponsorship. Hey, I'm going to rent out an area. Come and hit the ball. Let's hang out. Let's talk. Like, just chill. So that's number one, which is dial in and focus on a particular region. And then the big number two that we already talked about, which is the value add, right? Going and figuring out ways to be a value add in your neighborhood. I hope that's starting to trigger some things for you. And obviously there's a lot of homework. This is a coaching call and it's designed to inspire you, but also to give you practical tips that you can walk away with. Okay. And finally, our big number three that I like to call work for free. That sounds crazy to a lot of people. What do you mean work for free? Number one, under point number three, identify the big ballers within your brokerage and even outside your brokerage, right? But let's start off with in your brokerage. Who are the big fish? Meaning, who is the number one realtor within your brokerage? Say, hey, listen, I'll get you coffee. You got to pick up a sign? I'll pick up that sign for you. You got to remove a lockbox? I'll remove that lockbox. You have a showing that you can't get to? I'll do that showing for you. You have too many comps to run? I'll run those comps for you, right? And then while you're there, you're recording. You can literally say, hey, I'm here showing this property, because you may not be getting paid for it, but that doesn't mean that you can't talk about what you're doing and what you're working on. Again, being a value add, letting all the people in your brokerage and say, hey guys, I'm in the colony. Whatever you guys need, I'm always driving around. You need a lockbox picked up, whatever the case may be. A lot of times these bigger agents, these successful agents, they have listings. They don't want to deal with buyers. They don't want to drive around and show buyers anything, right? So just keep that in the back of your mind. Work for free. That's going to translate because number one, you're learning now. You're learning from the person who's successful already, and you're staying close to the money. You're staying close to the success, but you're also changing your environment. You're changing your circle. So that's the big thing that you want to be thinking about. Who am I hanging out with day in and day out? Am I hanging out with other people who are not getting new listings, who don't have new clients? So for you, it's like, hey, I need to be where the money is. That's going to be the big ticket for you. So what are your thoughts? How are you feeling right now?
No, I got a lot of homework for myself right now. I think that to your last point, I think a lot of us, we end up putting ourselves on the silo and we end up just really dialing in to our own goal, which is not wrong, but we don't really surround ourselves with other successful people. Traditionally join a team and work that way. But I think nowadays, a lot of us, we go out on our own. We do our own marketing. We're pretty much on an island. And we got to be able to leverage resources, relationships. That's a very good point. And there are definitely those people around me that even offer as well.
Yeah. And be patient. Just know that it's going to take 3 months. Just focus strictly on planting seeds. Don't have any expectation for fruit. Just say, I'm going to plant seeds and I'm going to make an impression within my region. I think that would encourage you. And I think quickly you will start to see, quicker than you think, you'll start to see the benefits of doing that. Do you have any other questions for me?
I have a few questions. I guess the first one would be, what do you think is the one thing that realtors get wrong or do wrong in their career?
I would say the number one thing is just setting false expectations for themselves, thinking that this is easy money, some sort of a get-rich scheme. The people who are successful in real estate are real people who have invested effort, blood, sweat, tears, all of that, because this is a long-term game. Not many people are going to just get off being rich. There's people who are making $75,000 a year, and then there's people who are making $1 million a year, $1.5 million a year. There are individuals who are just working for themselves, And then there are people who become brokers and are training and investing in agents. I think start by writing your 5-year plan for yourself, because then you can understand like, okay, this is what I want to see in 5 years. A lot of times we get caught up in wanting to see something in the next month, 3 months, and we don't bring anything to the table. Driving somebody to go look at a property is not a unique skill. You are now an Uber driver. Congratulations. So what do you do when you do drive them and you do show up at the property? A lot of times I see people showing up with the person. They haven't even walked the property yet. Get there 30 minutes early. Get familiar with the entire property. Understand what your clients are looking for. I wouldn't even waste my time showing properties that I know is not a good fit. You got to be leading that charge with your clients. That's the number one thing I would say folks get wrong.
Yeah, so on the inverse side, my second question would be, what do you think realtors should be doing like day to day, like ideally that's going to set them up for success?
They have to do the boring every single day. Let me explain. You got to do the same thing every day, okay? You got to structure your day. So the number one thing I would say is structure your day, time block. If you wake up, let's say at 7 a.m., from 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., you're working on your inbox. You're responding to potential clients. You're doing all these different things. That's from 7:30 to 9:30, let's just say. From 9:30 to 10:30, you're working on your social media posts. These are some of the structures that we're talking about. From 10:30 to 12:30, you're going to walk vacant properties. You're just going to learn how to walk the property, understand floor plans, material, right? Finish outs, all of that type of stuff that you need to understand for a property. A 2-car garage, 1-car garage, a tankless water heater. These things are valuable to understand. So anyway, you've reaped the benefits from structuring your day. You're doing the same exact thing every single day. That's my number one tip. Now, what goes into that time, that structure, that's a different conversation. And we'll do that in our next coaching call. Hey, structuring your day. I appreciate you, man. We're done here with our time. We've allocated 45 minutes for this session. So I'm thankful. I believe in you. I know you can crush it. I'm looking forward to our next call to hear more about what you've done to be a local presence and also the new relationships you'll be building with those who are already successful within this market. So I'm excited for you.
Same. I'm excited to check in with you again.
Thanks, man. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.